Look, I'll be the first to say it. Right hand up, the Boston Celtics are proving me wrong. Back at the beginning of the season and the first 2 weeks of the year, I was thinking, okay, Brad Stevens did a solid job assembling a team that would be in the lottery, be closer to securing a number one pick than they would be to the top of the Eastern Conference. But now the Celtics are winning a ton of basketball games. As a matter of fact, they've won 5 in a row, and what they're doing right now, it's genuinely insane to me, and it's all because of Jaylen Brown, Joe Mazzulla, and all the ancillary pieces around that are making this engine go to where the Celtics are right now at the 3 seed in the Eastern Conference. Could you guys really fathom this a couple of weeks ago when the Celtics were hovering around 500? They've won 5 in a row, and now they're just behind the Pistons, who they have a win over, the Knicks, who they have a win over, and then they're in front of the Raptors, who they just beat over the weekend, Magic, Heat, Sixers, Cavs, who are a surprising 8 seed right now. Your Celtics have beat them too. The 9 seed Hawks, and then the 10 seed Bucks, who the Celtics play in their lone matchup this week. I mean, insane to me that Boston is in the position that they are right now. We're going to talk about why they're in that position on today's show. But before we do, if you guys want us to go live for that one matchup of the Celtics week this week, go down below, hit the thumbs up icon. If you guys want to see us go live for Celtics versus Bucks, we haven't been live on the channel very frequently lately. So if you guys want us to get on the stream one more time, go down below, hit that thumbs up icon, like today's video. All right. I'm telling you guys, the Celtics, they're actually good, okay? Like, it's not just the 15-9 record, because a lot of teams have pretty solid records. You see the margins are razor thin between seeds 2 and 8 in the Eastern Conference. So what separates the Boston Celtics? Well, they've actually beaten good teams. They have the most wins in the NBA over teams 500 or better. Why is that? Well, because they're getting MVP level play out of their superstar, Jaylen Brown. I mean, it's crazy to think that with the Celtics, no Jason Tatum on the team this season, Jaylen Brown is just assuming the role. He's been playing spectacularly. And I just threw up one cherry pick stat. You could pick out a ton over the course of the season. But after the most recent game, Taylor Snow tweeted out that Jaylen Brown is the 4th Celtic all time to record back-to-back games with 30 points, 8 boards, 5 assists, and 3 threes. The others, Paul Pierce, Jason Tatum, and Antoine Walker. So he's in pretty good company there. And it's been a stellar all-NBA level season for Jaylen Brown. 29 points per game, 6 rebounds, a pretty much career-high 5 assists per game as well. And he's shooting the 3 ball at a solid clip, too. This is a guy who hovers usually below 35% from long range. The efficiency and the volume is up there for Jaylen Brown this year. But you've seen him be a mid-range assassin, attacking teams in the in-between game, getting downhill, using his physicality and strength to get buckets at the rim, and obviously stretching beyond the three-point line as well. This season from Jaylen Brown would be the 3rd highest scoring season by a Celtic in history, right behind JT's 30 a game last year. I think Jaylen Brown can eclipse 30 points per game if he continues this hot streak. And I'm telling you right now that scoring isn't the only threat that Jaylen Brown brings offensively. Not only does he have immense gravity to where other players in the Celtics, who we know can dribble and pass and score on their own, can just operate with a numbers advantage. But also, Jaylen Brown creates those numbers advantages himself with his vision and his facilitation that's taken a massive leap so far this year. It helps as well when the role players around him are knocking down the shots when he hits them. Jaylen Brown will get to the free throw line, he'll get down to the paint, and then defenses will just collapse. These shooters are then wide open as a result. And in December so far, where the Celtics have won all 4 of their games, Jordan Walsh shooting 75%, hitting 3/4 of his threes. Josh Minott shooting almost 4 a game, and he's shooting nearly 60% from long range. Sam Hauser, not too surprising there, with his 6 3 attempts per game, shooting nearly 50%. Jaylen Brown, though, with 4 attempts tonight, is shooting nearly 50% as well. And they got Derek White launching 12 threes a game over the past 4, and he's hitting 41% of those. So the C's are shooting like nobody else in the league really at this point. If they can continue that, they'll be one of the top seeds in the Eastern Conference, no doubt about it. But I seriously got to hand it to a couple of guys on that list, plus a few more. The role players on this Celtics team are really what's taking them over the top, because think about it. In this offseason, they added, Luka Garza, Chris Boucher. By the way, those 2 guys are barely playing at this point. Anthony Simons, who's getting less and less minutes as the season goes along. It's really the under-the-radar names that are making huge impacts for Boston this year. Ugo Gonzalez, Josh Minott, guys on these vet minimum contracts, as well as Jordan Walsh, who's on a vet minimum contract as well, has a team option next season. I mean, maybe one of the best bargains of the NBA season so far. We'll talk about more bargains on this team shortly. Jordan Walsh, in this Raptor game, defended Scotty Barnes for 24 possessions, held him to 4 points. on 1 of 3 from the field. But this isn't just a flash in the pan for Jordan Walsh. He's been doing this all season long. Jordan Walsh will lock up your favorite basketball player. It's not just Scotty Barnes. I mean, this doesn't even have James Harden on it. Honestly, he put Austin Reeves in a straitjacket. He had Karl Anthony Towns in a straitjacket. Donovan Mitchell for 43 possessions. He was harassing him all night long. I mean, multiple turnovers he's forced as well. And then Cade Cunningham. I mean, you could argue one of the top contenders for MVP right now. Yeah, he had him in a bottle as well. Jordan Walsh knows, though, that this isn't the end goal. I mean, he hasn't accomplished anything so far in his NBA career, and he's well cognizant of that. Here's what Walsh had to say on his recent performance, and all these coaches and players really talking up his game, especially on the defensive end. He said, "It was a good month, but I haven't earned anything. I haven't really done anything. I haven't succeeded in anything." So it's like, yeah, people are saying these good things, and kind of like Brown says, boosting my head up. At the same time, my first year, we won a championship. So for me, coming into the league, that's always been my standard. I feel like this year we've played 20 games. It's no rush. It's no push, but I haven't done anything yet. So until I see maybe ultimate success, maybe winning another championship, then maybe my head will get a little bigger. Well, I'll tell you right now, I think that championship could absolutely be on the horizon. Maybe not right now with Jason Tatum still on the shelf. I mean, this Celtics team isn't even at full strength yet. Still some question marks at depth in the front court, but leaps like this from Jordan Walsh are seriously what keeps a championship window open. If you can get elite level play, starter level play, because that's what Jordan Walsh has been giving you over the past 2 weeks or so, then your championship window is automatically increased. Like Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown making a combined $100 and something million a year. Jordan Walsh making $2 million a year makes that possible and gives them a shot at winning another championship. With that being said, which Celtic has impressed you the most this season? Because if we talked about everybody on this video, it would be a half-hour extravaganza. I wouldn't be too mad about that, but I know people would get bored eventually. Which Celtic has impressed you the most this season? Is it Jaylen Brown? Is it Jordan Walsh? Or is it somebody else? You let me know down in the comment section. Because it could be one of these guys as well. It could be Josh Minott, who's only 23 years old, making $2.5 million. Jordan Walsh, only 21 years old, making $2.2. Ugo, 19 years old, and he's getting run in these games. Knocked down his only 2 shot attempts against Toronto. And then Neemias Queta. I seriously cannot believe how good Neemias Queta is on this basketball team. We'll talk about him in just a second. We'll talk about how the Celtics keep this pace, the 50-win pace that they are on, plus how they get even better as the season goes along. That in just a moment. First, though, I got to tell you guys about our sponsor. A quick word from Prize Picks. It's the holiday season, and we're making a ton of decisions here. What basketball games to watch, what football games to watch. I mean, what presents to buy for the holiday season as well. But there's one place where being right on those decisions can get you paid, and that is Prize Picks. With the holiday season here, tons of basketball matchups and bowl games, and you guys can win money watching them all if you download the Prize Picks app and use our promo code CLNS, where you get $50 in lineups instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. But you got to use that promo code CLNS. Super simple to create one of those lineups, by the way. All you guys got to do is pick a lineup of 2 to 6 players and just pick more or less on their projected stats. You can mix and match sports, basketball, football, college sports, all in the same lineup. And Prize Picks separates themselves from the competition because of the features that they offer. You can have stacks. Yes, multiple stat projections from the same player in the same lineup, only on Prize Picks. They also offer an early payout system as well. So if you're feeling good about your lineup but not good enough to see it all the way through, Prize Picks offers you an early payout that you can swipe across and get money in your account. So download the app today and use our promo code CLNS for $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code CLNS for $50 in lineups after your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks. It's good to be right. Your Boston Celtics are on pace to win 50 games. I cannot believe that. Like, if you told me before the season that this team would win 50 games, I would laugh at you. Seriously. Not only because that Jason Tatum's out, but because of the moves they made in the offseason. You lose Drew Holiday. Tough to replace a guy like that, but it seems like they have with Jordan Walsh. You lose Kristaps Porzingis and Al Horford. You get the leap from Neemias Queta that we'll talk about in a moment, but beyond that, there isn't a lot of depth behind him there. And yet the Celtics continue to win basketball games. They could win a championship. Couple things got to happen, though. Jason Tatum's got to return, and I think he's got a chance to return at some point. We see slowly but surely the workouts get ramped up more and more as his recovery process continues. There's talk about him being potentially available to return in January, in February, in March. And if the Celtics are in the same pace, they're keeping the same type of play that they got going on right now, then yeah, it would make sense for Jason Tatum to come back. Another way that the Boston Celtics continue this pace is if Neemias Queta continues to see what he is doing so far this season, because He has been one of the best bigs in all of basketball. I mean, he's averaging 10 points a game, 8 boards, got a couple of blocks a night as well. He's the leader for the Celtics on-off numbers in terms of net rating, which is insane to me. He's top 10 in the NBA's defensive rating. He's top 10 overall in net rating. He's also top 10 in screen assist. He's been one of the best pick-and-roll players in the NBA, and this is only after 23 games. He has been a mainstay in the Celtics roster and rotation. It's unbelievable how good this team plays and defends when he's out there on the floor. Now, those on-off numbers for Neemias Queta, you could probably peel back the curtain a little bit, read between the lines and ask yourself, why are the on-off numbers with Neemias Queta so good? Well, it's probably because the off numbers are so bad with whoever the Celtics put in depth behind him at the center spot. Like, I'm telling you right now, we mentioned it before, the additions the Celtics made this offseason, Luka Garza and Chris Boucher, they're just not viable backups. I mean, all three of these guys, Xavier Tillman as well included, they're all basically getting DNPs, like less than 10 minutes a game over the last 5 to 10 for the Boston Celtics. So whenever Neemias Queta leaves the floor, the Celtics are incredibly outmatched physically and height-wise because they seem to run small ball whenever he leaves the floor, and these three guys are all sitting on the bench for most of the time, and it makes sense. They're not that good. So with that being said, a trade probably has to happen at some point for somebody in the front court. The Celtics have enough creation, I would say, with Brown, when Tatum comes back. They got Pritchard, they got White. Like, there's enough shot creation and ball handling ability on this roster. And then, you see Hugo Gonzalez and Jordan Walsh and Josh Minott all create bigger roles as the season goes along. I really do believe it's got to be a front court addition for the Boston Celtics. And offloading one of their backcourt players will get them towards that goal because Anthony Simons continues to see fewer and fewer minutes from Joe Mazzulla as the season goes along. Like, these 4 games in December, Anthony Simons hasn't played more than 25 minutes in any of those games. That's not to say that he's putting up, like, bad offensive numbers. He's shooting 40% from 3. He's averaging, 13.5 points per game. He's not having the role that he's had in Portland in his career, but he's not playing, the worst of any NBA player out there. But with a $27 million expiring contract, the Celtics are probably going to want to trade him. And when these guys are potentially on the trade market, it makes even more sense to do so. We've heard about Ivica Zubac potentially being on the market for the Los Angeles Clippers. Teams are calling about him, and the word around town right now is that the Clippers are looking for 2 first-round picks in exchange for Zubac. Simons and 2 firsts? I'm not saying no. Daniel Gafford's another name out there from the Dallas Mavericks as well. He's under contract for a few more years, but you can get him on the cheap last year of his last deal right now, which is $14.4 million. You would shed about $13 if you trade Simons for him. Definitely wouldn't cost 2 first-round picks either. Day'Ron Sharpe, though, if you really want to cut as much money as possible while getting a player who isn't going to usurp Neemias Queta in the Celtics starting lineup, then you go out and get a guy like Day'Ron Sharpe, who just needs a little bit more opportunity in his NBA game. His metrics per 36, per 100 possessions, his efficiency metrics are all fantastic, and he's just withering away on the Brooklyn Nets bench. It would be awesome if he was a Boston Celtic. Do the C's need to trade for a center, though? What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments section. Why for yes and for no? Do the Boston Celtics need to make a trade for a center or not? And I'll tell you right now, I think they do, but you got to take care of what's in front of you first. You can't make any of these trades just yet due to Anthony Simons being a recently traded for player. You got to wait until whether it's December 15th or January 15th, whatever. One of those 2 dates, Anthony Simons can be traded. The Celtics will start working the phones when that is happening. But you got to worry about what's in front of you first. And as far as this week goes, it is a matchup with the Milwaukee Bucks. Now, the Bucks not going to have Giannis in this game. He's out with a calf strain, so you really have to take care of business on the road here. A couple of the Celtics' losses so far this year have been dumb ones, the teams who are inferior to them. This Bucks roster is clearly inferior, so you got to go out there and take care of business this week. You cannot get Ryan Rollins in this game, or you cannot let some bench player go off for 30 points and have this one slip out of your hands because guess what? I know it's an NBA 82-game regular season. Every game counts, especially when the margins are as razor thin as they are in the Eastern Conference as it stands right now. That will do it for today's show. Give me a follow over on Twitter at Tyler J. Smith, 2 H's because the name's common, but I am not. And make sure you are subscribed to the channel as well, youtube.com/CelticsTV for the latest and greatest on your C's all season long. We'll see you guys in the next video, and as always, let's go C's.